let us do our practice together. Let us breathe together for a little bit, just to enjoy the breathing and to give me, and I suspect probably too, some time to calm down and relax. And we all support each other. Our sister will invite 3 sounds of the bell, and for each sound of the bell is kind of a gift. It's already a beautiful sound, but it's a gift of not having to do anything except breathe and be alive. So just let your body be really comfortable, but also maybe check to see if you're stable, feeling stable in your posture. It's easier to relax that way. And then just come back to the rhythm of your in-breath and your out-breath in its natural rhythm. And sometimes with my hand on my abdomen, if you want to do it, you can. You can feel the rising and falling. And for each sound of the bell, like I said, it's a gift, so she'll give us enough time to take at least 3 full breaths, deep breaths. And so we get to do 9 complete breaths with nothing else to do at all, just enjoying the sound and our breathing. Okay, let's do that. And then I'll do a little bit more guided meditation following that. Breathing in, I continue to follow my in-breath all the way through, staying with the in-breath. Breathing out, follow the out-breath all the way through, staying in contact with the out-breath. In, out. Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole body as I breathe in. The air bringing energy and life into my body. Breathing out, I can smile and relax my body. In, body, out, smiling. Breathing in, I'm aware of some tension, some painful feelings, sensations in my body. Breathing out, I allow them to be there, embracing that as a mother holds a child, soothing the tension in the body. In, aware of tension, out, soothing. Breathing in, I'm aware of my mental formations, my mind, thoughts and feelings. Breathing out, I touch gratitude to gladden my mind, grateful for life in the present moment. In, aware of mind, out, gratitude. Breathing in, I'm aware of everything around me, the sunk body, the earth under me, fresh air, spring air, all the wonders of life available in the present moment. Breathing out, savoring the present moment. around, that connection, out, savoring. So we can open our eyes if your eyes are closed. Take a look around and enjoy seeing this on the body. You can wave to your neighbor if you want. Say hello. You can do a little loosening up too if you kind of get stiff at all while sitting. And we can continue to take refuge in our breathing and in the earth, which is carrying us all around here. Sister, I want to thank my dear sister, Sister Lamia. Sister True Empathy is on the bell for us today. She's so very happy. My name is Brother Fulfillment. Sitting next to me, Sister Shuyan. And we're very happy to be up here sitting with you and just to share a little bit our story, our life, our practice, whatever happens to come up. So, Sister Shunyam is a new flower in our garden at Blue Cliff. And she came about it's been a month. Already a month, it goes by fast, from Plum Village. And she's originally from Ardèche, the Ardèche region of France. Yeah, I got that right. And we spent some time together in Plum Village. And so I just want to welcome her and give her a chance to share first.
Dear respected Sangha, dear teachers, dear brothers and sisters. First of all, I would like to say that it feels very good to be sitting here. It's not actually very stressful because you are very beautiful. And I can feel a lot of love coming from you and from my brother. So it's a very nice place to be right now. And I also would like to share that when many of you arrived on Friday, I was really feeling that the Hamlet was becoming very alive thanks to you. It's not that he was not alive before, but he was suddenly adorned with smiles and very, very good energy. So I would like to thank you for that. It was something very clear, very strong for me on Friday, a very beautiful gift that you are making us coming here. And also for sure the ones who are coming for the day are also bringing very good energy. Mindfulness Day, so thank you for that. A few days ago, I've been approached I've been invited to share today. And first of all, I didn't know if I was ready. Usually I'm quite happy to do so, but I was feeling vulnerable a little bit. So I didn't say yes right away. And I came to my brother, and because he has been invited too, and I asked him, what are you going to share? What do you want to talk about on Sunday? What do you have on your heart? And he said, oh, we can share about how to transform suffering, and we can share about Mother Earth. So I said, okay. And then when I went back, I was very happy. I was full of inspiration about what my brothers said. So even if I didn't really know where to go and how, but I was already inspired. Something was already happening inside of me thanks to his suggestions. But after that, I was feeling a little bit vulnerable. It's okay to feel like that. I was walking with it and being with it, and embracing it, and also feeling that something was ready in me, process. And what I practiced is to come back to my inner garden, to come back inside of me. And I saw my garden inside and I asked, oh, what's happening? What's happening in my garden? So I saw this seed of not fear, but something like a little bit shaky. And what I saw also was joy. So I chose joy. I decided to water the seeds of joy. Finally, I'm here and I'm very happy. I would like to share a little bit about some questions that I have on my heart about the propositions of our brother. One of them, for me, that is very, very important, burning, alive in me, is about Mother Earth. It's about what to do, what to practice with strong emotions. What can I do when I feel despair? What can I do when I feel hopelessness? What do I practice when I suffer inside of me from my own suffering, personal suffering, but also Mother Earth suffering? What do I practice to cultivate joy, to be alive, to continue, to have energy? So that's one of my questions. And the other question is, what is the relationship between my inner garden and Mother Earth, the great garden, the big garden of Mother Earth, the planet Earth? What is actually the relationship? What's happening? What's happening there? Is there a relationship, and how, and what do I practice? And I have a little map here that I will follow sometimes. It's not exactly notes, but it's more a drawing, so it will help me to stay on the path to share today. And another point that I would like to share about is the teaching of Thai about what I call, it's me who is calling like that, is eco-dharma, the practice of eco-dharma. Deep ecology in every moment, in every breath, in every step. That the ecology is not outside, it's not only buying organic food, it is, but it's at every moment, in every breath. So this is a little bit my question. The reason why I've been very inspired by this topic, it's as our brother shared already, I've been growing up in the mountains of France, in the southeast of France, in a very, very beautiful place, maybe the most beautiful place in the world. There are probably many others, but I know this one is very, very special. and I've been very early in my life in deep contact with Mother Earth in a very natural way. So the Dharma for me has come first through my experience of being in nature and growing up in nature. So I would like to share a little bit about that because it's a great source of inspiration for me. And a few memories came up when I thought about this sharing, and I would like to share some of them. And one of them is a memory of summer in my childhood when the weather was very hot, and we would run down the mountain very, very, very quickly to the river, very wide river, and we would run down, all the children of the village, quick, 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 and jumping into the water. And that was very, very deep contact with nature. And not only exploring the depths of the water, but also when we had to come up after a few hours, we had to come up the mountain, because it's not only going down, but going up for 30, 45 minutes. So for a child, it's a full experience. And going up, my mother would teach us, because we were she would teach us to walk very slowly and to follow our breath. My mother is not a Buddhist or whatever, but naturally she had the experience and she would transmit to us the experience. Breathing in, one step, breathing out, one step. And the children, we were like from 3 years old to 10 years old, and we could come up the mountain to the top without stopping. Sometimes we would stop for fun, but no need to stop. Just following our breath and following our steps. So my mother has been a teacher for a very long time, and I'm very grateful for her. So this is the practice of walking meditation. And I really enjoy climbing mountains. I like going down, but going up, following the breath. It's a very beautiful practice. That's one of the very good memory of Dharma mountain. Childhood for me. Something that also nourished me when I was a child is to feel the cycle of nature, to feel the seasons, to follow all the seasons, to be very much in contact with the cold, with the warm weather, with the spring, and direct contact with the light coming up, light going down, this kind of cycle. And I also remember my father teaching or showing me at breakfast, cutting a kiwi in two and looking at the kiwi inside. Have you ever done that? How beautiful is a kiwi. And he would show me and say, wow. And I remember that also, so my father has been a teacher for me too. So these are experiences in my life that structured me, connecting to nature directly, from a direct heart experience. And growing up in the mountain doesn't mean that everything is wonderfully perfect. There are also a lot of suffering as everywhere else. So this nature for me, this relationship with nature, has helped me very much to keep going and to feel stability, solidity. One day I was about 20 years old and I was walking on the Compostela path through France and Spain. And I met a lot of despair. I met a lot of strong emotions in me. And it was a kind of awakening to suffering. I was walking for a while, we were walking for a while with my partner. And under a bridge, on the highway, we crossed an area with a lot of trash. A lot. And I realized that, wow, Mother Earth is really, really in pain, and it's really overwhelming. When I was a child, we would never throw anything on the ground. And when we would see something on the ground, it was like an offense. So we would take it, and we had been taught to do like this. So for me to discover that in some places in the world, actually a lot of places in the world, is extremely damaged, I cried a lot, and it was a kind of awakening to suffering, awakening to reality of suffering on Mother Earth. And so I didn't know what to do with this despair. I didn't know how to practice, how to keep smiling, to be joyful, and to keep hope. So meeting the practice of privilege, I've been learning to go back to my inner garden, to my inner land, going home into my inner mountain. Mountain is not only in the southeast of France, or in other places, maybe in America that I don't know yet, but it's also inside of us, each other. So the practice of going home for me has been a key, a very important Dharma door. Whenever there is a strong emotion, especially this one, despair, not to know what to do, and losing all my faith, all my energy when I see more and more the way we damage the earth, going home. A few years ago, Thai, our teacher, has opened up the wake-up movement for the young people and the elder people, young in heart, everyone. And it's because he realized how much young people were committing suicide in France and everywhere. And I know myself some engaged young people, so engaged for Mother Earth, so engaged for ecology, that commit suicide because they don't know what to do with their own despair. So they have a lot of love, but they are overwhelmed by suffering. So Thai opened up this wake-up movement for the young to find a way and to overcome strong emotions and to go through and to learn and to grow and to support Mother Earth, to find a way out. And he taught us that the way out is the way out is to look inside, to go back to inside, whatever is happening around us. So we go inside of earth, inside the land. And in Buddhism there is a name for it, it is called alaya. Alaya is a part of the consciousness that we can see like the earth inside, the earth of our consciousness. And we can always go back. And how? Through the practice of breathing, calming down, going down to our body. And this practice in the teaching, it's called the 3 trainings, and you have heard a lot about it probably. It's a practice of stopping, of concentrating, and of looking deeply. And it's a process of going home inside, to go back to the inner garden where all the seeds are inside of us. And we can go there, we can find a seed of peace, a seed of joy, we can find all the seeds inside. So the earth is inside also, outside but inside. I would like to share with you a beautiful quote from an Orthodox priest that speaks about this movement of going home. Actually, for him, it's meditation, but also prayer, because he's a priest and he's practicing also Zen and meditation. His name is Jean-Yves, French. So the quote is, when we meditate, the more we allow our thoughts to move down into the body, the more our life energy rises up within us. So for me, I really see it as a process of going back to life, awakening life inside of us through the body, coming back to the body, awakening life, and not only stopping thinking, but just allowing ourselves to not think. It's not something that is hard to do or hard work, just allowing ourselves to find another space, another perspective inside. The miracle of Thai teaching, for me, it has been from the very, very beginning, not only the simplicity of his teachings, very accessible to young people, but the fact that the practice of mindfulness is every moment, every breath, every step, every look, every moment. I've been to some practice centers before, and we practice when we sit down, we practice when we walk, formally. And it was great. But in Thai's teaching, I discovered a place where we are invited to do of every moment of our life a miracle of practice, a moment of great, wow, I can practice now. And it's every time, like when I wake up, when I brush my teeth, when I walk out, when I take breakfast, and every moment is colored with the energy of practice, the energy of mindfulness. There is no separation between practice life, meditation, and daily life, life outside or work. And I remember at the very beginning, really enjoying practicing walking meditation, coming out of my room and telling myself, oh, I have 100 meters to walk and I will do it. And so much joy was being born from just the idea of having the possibility to walk 100 meters in meditation and to be able to restore myself from any emotions that I could have or anything that was happening inside. But just to have this 100 meters of walking, wow! So Thai is always very joyful in the teaching, and for me it was great to learn from a teacher like him. Every moment is a moment of discovery, practice, and creativity. You can be very creative in the teaching. Something that I noticed in my life when I met despair and hopelessness is that I realized that actually it's a great pollution for my mind. And I've been growing up with a lot of ecologists, and actually they were fighting. So there was a kind of something in me that I couldn't really understand. They were very angry, and I was very angry. And I realized that this is also pollution. It's not only plastic bags on the way or something that is pollution, but what do we do with our mind? What do I do with my own mind? And so whenever I feel despair in me, I practice to embrace and to come back to myself. But also, I see that that's really damaging for me and for the people around me. That's pollution. That's not deep ecology yet. So I have right away a field of practice in front of me. Yes, that's now. That's not whenever everybody will buy organic food. That's now. The practice is now. Ecology is now. This morning we heard in the Touching of the Earth text that we can invite a seed to go back to the store of consciousness. Whenever it's coming up, we embrace and invite to go back. I like to see this practice of calming down as actually making compost. I can embrace this seed of anger, of despair, with a lot of leaves of compassion, a layer of compassion. I can embrace it with some tears, not too much. I can put a layer of grass, the grass of whatever, maybe a non-discrimination, and like this, I put it back in my inner garden and I don't touch too much. Yeah, I let it be, and I trust that I'm doing my own compost. Something will come up from that. It's not that I have to deny, or I don't also just always stay with my seed of despair or anger because it's very important what's happening in the world. That's also not right. So I like to practice composting into myself. And actually, in the process of sharing this morning, I practiced like that. When I reflected about what I'm going to share and I felt some things coming up, different emotions, I practiced composting and trusting that compost works. And not touching too much, not trying to remember what I'm going to say, just I make the layers and I let it be. And transformation is happening. Things is happening. Trust. That's also a practice for me of inner ecology, inner transformation. But what I see deeply and that make my life energy, my volition, my aspiration grow up and continue and be very alive every day is to touch, to have the experience, direct experience that my inner earth, my inner garden and the garden of humanity, the garden of the earth are not two different things. We've heard I saying that, but for me to touch it, to really have the experience of this non-separation is something that is very important and makes my life very actively beautiful. Like I'm practicing for it. It's giving me nourishment. So whenever I'm in contact with my inner garden, it's not something that I do first and then I will do for the planet or something will happen later. I can really see that it's at the same time. The way in, the way out is in. When I take good care of myself, it's happening right away around me. Yes, it's a real experience, so it's giving me a lot of hope. And I see it in the Sangha. When we practice like that, it's giving a lot of hope because we can be active right away. And we often hear, we come back to ourselves first and then, but me I hear, yes, the movement is like this, but it's happening at the same time. There is no future. There is present moment creating future right away. Beautiful future right away. It's not first and then. We say this because it's helpful. But actually the reality of the experience is at the same time. So whenever you practice coming back to your steps and touching peace inside, the peace is not only inside, it's radiating, it's going outside right away. And seeing that we are Mother Earth, seeing that there is not the environment and us, we are made of Mother Earth. We have it. We are her and she is us. So practicing like that is already practicing healing together. And as a Sangha, when we come together as groups of practitioners everywhere in America, everywhere in Europe, in the world, is creating a very strong collective energy of healing right away, right now. It's not one day, it starts now, really now. For me, it's one of the ways to face reality, but also to face action, not to separate actions from my own contemplation or my own practice of peace, of inner life. One day, Thai said a very funny sentence in the Dharma Talk. Usually, it's Dharma Talk. I quite know what he's going to say. And one day he said something that was totally mysterious. And I will tell you, and it's quite a strange sentence that actually inspired me a lot, even if I didn't know what it means. He said, the mission of a monk or a nun is to go into the forest, looking for roots, to heal mum and those who love. But the mission of a monk or a nun is to go into the forest, looking for roots, to heal mum and those who we love. So because my name in Vietnamese means mission, my ears were like, something. I took note of this sentence. It's a mystery for me what it means, but in the perspective of ecology, deep ecology, I see that mum is probably Mother Earth, at least for me. And going back to the roots, collecting roots in the forest, I really see it as going back to the practice and finding out inner strength, inner the roots in the practice of walking, in the practice of sitting, in the Dharma, and in the ancestors, in us. So all these kind of roots that can heal, that will heal mum right now, and will of mums. So I like this sentence because it's a little bit mysterious. Taking refuge in roots, taking refuge in the ancestors is a healing practice. And I have a little story. One day I had to offer incense during a precepts recitation. Probably many of you have done that or know what it is. Maybe some don't know yet. And so when we offer incense, we invoke or we sing, we chant the names of the Buddha Shakyamuni, 4 or 5 Buddhas, 4 or 5 Bodhisattvas, and many, many ancestors. So the day before, I've heard this chanting a lot, but the day before I tried to remember all the texts and was not sure I would remember everything. And suddenly I told myself, but because it's about ancestors, I will just ask them to do it for me. I don't have to remember anything, okay? It's about ancestors, I will read it one time and then... And so I did in the morning. I didn't take my paper with me. I stood up and went in the middle. And everything went very well. It worked. It worked. Yeah. So, taking refuge in the ancestors and taking refuge in the alaya inside, the practice of trust and healing too. And I remember my mom when I was young, when I had to learn a history chapter for school. And she was a very good Zen master. She used to say, don't worry, just read it one time before you go to sleep. But with a lot of concentration. Not like mind floating everywhere. Really concentrated, one time. Then you close the book. That's it. And tomorrow morning you will remember everything of the history lesson. My dad was not so happy about this. But it worked. It worked. Yes. This is the practice of Zen that my mom taught me for a long time without telling me that it was Zen. It works. So this for me, to go back to the roots, is to trust. To trust. to trust that there is a practice, there is a way out. And this practice is giving you a lot of life energy when we put our heart in it. The fruits are very sweet. Some fruits are ripening slowly, some fruits are ripening very quickly. I've heard about this movement called Earth Holder. I always, when I heard this name, Earth Holder movement or Sangha, I always saw someone carrying the earth. Or like the Buddha in Magnolia on the stained glass is holding the earth. But for me it's a little bit heavy sometimes to hold the earth like this. So I actually see it as we are all holding the earth through our roots from inside. Like for me the image would be the earth with all the roots holding the earth. In the mountain, it's actually the roots of the trees which are holding the earth. It's not that we are carrying it, but it's through the soil that all the vegetation is holding the earth. So if we all do that with our own practice, and as sanghas all around the world, we can really hold the earth. And see that the practice of non-discrimination, non-separation is the most healing one. That we can heal ourselves and the earth at the same time. Thank you.
Dear respected teachers and beloved community, how do you feel? Some smiling, some nodding. I feel very refreshed and nourished listening to my sister share, and I have a lot of gratitude. I'm not sure exactly what to add. When we spoke about the talk, I had the thought that I might have to speak first, so I kind of prepared for that. And then this morning, Sister Shunyam said she would like to speak first, and then I felt very relieved because I didn't. And I feel a lot of gratitude for that she's offered us such a beautiful practice of coming home. I did bring a couple of things that I can read to you because I don't. It's kind of a practice for me to. Well, everything is a practice for us, but this is a newer practice in some ways to sit in front and share like a Dharma talk. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, and the Sangha also kind of pushing us a little bit to try it out. So I wanted to start by reading something that I read this last night. I have this small book, and I think what I want to do is just tell a little bit of my story. I think resonating. I'm feeling connected to my brother, Teva Black. He always says he likes to tell stories, so I like storytelling too. The small book is a very worn small book that I picked up in when I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Nepal. It was in 2006. No, 1996, so I was like, that doesn't sound right. It was 10 years. 1996, I was 23 years old. And I had very big dreams about transforming suffering. That's why I was in the Peace Corps. To save, to do something, to help. And the 2 years kind of revealed to me the reality of what our sister just shared, that I didn't have so much to offer because the garden in my heart was not very healthy. But anyway, this book kind of called out to me. I think I must have picked it up in a market in Kathmandu, but it just says the Buddha's teaching on it, but it's actually a translation of the Dharma Talk, which is one of the older texts. If you're into the scholarship of Buddhism, it's one of the older texts that was recorded, written down. And one of my, so I've had this book for quite a while, since '96, and it's pretty well worn, but I like to read it, and it's given me a lot of encouragement and inspiration on the path of practice. So looking back at that time, 1996, I couldn't really see a direction for my life. I was kind of wandering around. I was in the Peace Corps, so they gave me some direction, but inside I didn't feel I didn't really know what was important or what to do. And I feel very grateful because somehow some seeds were planted in me and they start to grow. And so looking back at that time, I see a little bit of what was shared, how over time the seeds and the things that are in us have a chance to ripen and grow in ways that we can't expect. So I apply that wisdom to the present moment, seeing there's so many things that I still don't completely understand or know how to handle exactly, but I have a lot of confidence in breathing and watching and connecting. Well, anyway, the one I read last night, it's I'm giving you some suspense, but it's the eighth chapter. It's I really love this translation too because I think it's by a Christian guy. I got Christian roots, so he took some liberties, but in terms of the language, but it resonates with my cultural background. So this section is called Better Than 1,000. Better than 1,000 useless words is one single word that gives peace. Better than 1,000 useless verses is one single verse that gives peace. Better than 100 useless poems is one single poem that gives peace. If someone, it says man actually, but I'm not too I don't like gender bias so much, so I just translated. If one should conquer and battle 1,000 and 1,000 more, and another should conquer himself or herself, I'll just say, if another should conquer themselves, this would be the greater victory. Because the greatest of victories is the victory over themselves. And neither the gods in heaven above nor the demons below can turn into defeat the victory of such a one. Anyway, I read that last night. It's pretty intense, especially if you're giving a Dharma talk the next day. one word that gives peace. But I feel grateful. That's why I feel so grateful to Sister Shri, because I think we already offered a little bit of peace. Hopefully, I felt some peace from that. So that's good news. Around the same time, when I was in Nepal, a friend of mine came to visit. She was my girlfriend at the time, actually, I thought. She came to Nepal with her previous boyfriend, and they got back together, so it was a little bit painful. So I'm telling you the story of suffering, my own suffering, and how it also led me on the path. Is very important. Suffering is so underrated. It has such an important role to play in our path. But it's not easy in the moment when you're feeling a lot of pain. I don't know if there's anyone. There may be some of you who feel heartbroken today, so I can relate to that feeling. It can be very painful. So, but my friend was actually very kind in some ways. She also planted another seed. She gave me one of Thai's books, which was Transformation and Healing, which is kind of an appropriate gift after you break up with someone. She didn't mean that in a bad way. She's very sincere, so I guess that I had to read this book. It didn't make so much sense to me at the time. But it connected me to a traditional practice, which is very fortunate, and I think we're sitting here, so we're very fortunate people because we're connected to a very deep tradition going back thousands of years here with this text, but also this modern manifestation that our teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, has helped to inspire. It's very precious. So, to honor him, I'd like to read something he wrote. Can I ask the bellmaster when is walking meditation, or when's the next program? I have 15 minutes. It's good to have a community because you can't do everything by yourself, right? We're deeply connected to each other and need support. So having a sangha like this, for me, is part of that garden, part of that. The earth that we need to take care of is as close as the person sitting next to us also. If we take care of the person next to us, is also caring for Mother Earth. If we can connect. Okay. This is a poem that I am a 21st century monk. I have an iPod. It's not a phone, that's against the rules. But I try to use it skillfully, like a Dharma instrument, so to train myself and to help me to remember what's important, and also to stay connected. So it helps me connect to people and have good information. So this poem is called, I think it's called The Good News, which is a nice title. It suggests someone who is in touch with the culture, our Western culture, because the good news is something that is also called the gospel, right? And that's the Christian tradition. So it connects right away to some of our roots. We have a lot of different roots, all kinds of different spiritual traditions, but that's one that touches me. That's something that I grew up with. So this is the poem, The Good News. The good news they do not print. The good news we do print. We have a special edition every moment, and we need you to read it. The good news is that you are alive. That the linden tree is still there, standing firm in the harsh winter. The good news is that you have wonderful eyes to touch the blue sky. The good news is that your child is there before you, and your arms are available. Hugging is possible. They only print what is wrong. Look at each of our special editions. We always offer the things that are not wrong. We want you to benefit from them and help to protect them. The dandelion is there by the sidewalk, smiling its wondrous smile, singing the song of eternity. Listen, you have ears that can hear it. Bow your head, listen to it. Leave behind the world of sorrow, of preoccupation, and get free. The latest good news is that you can do it. That's the poem with dramatic relief. Okay, hope you're all right with that. I'm not sure what else to tell you on this kind of cool May day, springtime. I think one thing I'd like to just add in terms of this very basic and simple practice of coming back to our mindful breathing, to stop and be present. I think one thing that comes to me is that this is a personal process of harmonizing. And that's very important to me, because we're talking about taking care of suffering, taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other, taking care of the earth, and reestablishing connection, I would say, reestablishing a kind of harmony. And when we can allow ourselves to breathe naturally, it's very harmonizing. It's very simple, but it's also very profound. It just allows things to be. And I feel that is the only way to build a true community. And that is one of the things I think we are also looking for. We want to heal, we want to transform our suffering. It's not an individual matter, right? We know that if there's war going on in the world, somehow it will affect us. The pollution that's there will affect the food that we eat, will affect the people that we love. The sense that we can be connected to all life. I think that's it requires us to stop and breathe, to reharmonize. So I really appreciate this, what Sister Shiriam shared from our teacher about going into the forest. That's one of my main practices, is going and listening to the forest, but also practicing to breathe with the forest. I think we did that earlier today, walking meditation, right? As a community. And to allow myself to harmonize with those plants and animals. Not to see like, oh, there's some nice trees over there, but the other day I was walking in the forest and I saw there was a branch that had been broken off in the wind. It was just starting to get some leaves, so it was very tender. And suddenly I felt like it would be like having your arm broken or something like that. But it was very unusual. Normally I didn't get that sense, and I just suddenly felt like this tree is a kind of brother to me. It is not like just a tree, right? So that mind of discrimination, like I'm this and the tree's over there, but like somehow to connect, to harmonize. And that was very nice. That was a really nice experience. I felt a lot of gratitude to the tree too, because this tree was a silver birch or black birch, and this branch is a kind of medicine. At least this tree has medicinal properties, so I thought this is a kind of gift, like an offering. And so I very carefully took the branch, broke off, and we made some birch medicine from it. My mom got some. She's been having trouble sleeping, so that medicine is a mild, relaxing sedative, so she got to have some of that. But to me, that's kind of the spirit of harmonizing, being with the flow of what is being offered and what's being given, and as people and as society, we're also in need of that, right? To see the people as our neighbors. In our community, we have to do that every day to harmonize. Like this morning, I came to my brother, he was setting up, he had brought out he wanted to make it brighter so you could see us. So he had brought out a kind of, this stand over here, it's easier to point to. It's like a construction work light, you know, you put a construction light on it, and he had just put it right there, and I suddenly got this uncomfortable feeling like, oh wow, I don't know if I can give the talk if you put a construction lamp in front of me and shine it on me. And I said to him, well, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable with that light there. Maybe we put it over there. I don't know why we tried to navigate together, right? But I have to share my feeling out so that he knows, so we can have to breathe with that. And then I practiced walking a little bit later, and I said, what was my feeling of discomfort about? And I was like, oh, I don't want you to see that, maybe I don't want to see you to see something about, I want it to look beautiful in the meditation hall, you know, and then I look back, in the back we have this big crane thing, which doesn't bother me at all because it's in the back. And I just noticed how it's about, it's like I have different preferences, different views, different experiences, different expectations. If I want harmony, I have to take time to share and listen with my brother. He was very kind. He said he was going to try to set it up, and then I think he let it go because of some of the technical problems. But just that process of like, okay, how are we going to navigate this? And we have to do that every day in our community, our monastic community, right? Are we going to buy this? Are we going to buy that? We went back and forth a little bit about this. We knew we needed to change the lights, so we were working on this crane. Actually, it's not a crane, it's a tower thing. And we thought maybe we should get the one that's like the lift, like the scissor lift thing, but it was quite expensive. So we thought, okay, we want to live in harmony with our values, which is simplicity. So this one is cheaper and simpler, but we put it up, and it takes some time to put up, and we didn't get a chance to change the lights, so it has to hang out back there. So I have to be patient too, to harmonize, right? So I just say that because, I heard that there was a proposal on the social scale, we have to look like that too, because, I heard there was a proposal to put this wall, build a big giant wall down in between Mexico and the United States. And I thought, how can we evaluate, how can we really look at this kind of a proposal and not say like, oh, these people are wrong, they're bad, if we want to be in harmony, right, and we have to look and see like, no, I don't want the wall, but why not? And why do they want the wall? And we start to look and we start to see like, oh, maybe there's something that they're afraid of, someone is afraid here. And so how can we approach that fear with compassion and loving kindness to help that calm down, right? That's what we need to do. So we have to find our neighbors. Maybe they want that wall, and we want to talk to them so we can hear and help calm down this kind of fears and separation. So yes, please let us continue taking care of our inner environment, outer environment, harmonizing, starting with our breath and letting that be our guide to go forward. Is there anything else you want to add? Go ahead. I mean, we're just slightly over the time, but I think I'll give you a couple minutes.
There are many things that I would like to add, but so it's very inspiring to hear my brother sharing not just one, but that is for me the most important, that wherever we are in the nature or in the mountains or in New York City, the practice is available for us, and we are healing Mother Earth right there in New York City while walking, while breathing, while connecting with each other. Yeah, so that's the thing I wanted to. Thank you for your presence, your smiling.
Oh, and by the way, I shared about the harmony thing because I'm very bad at that. I'm not sharing that from a place of like, I know what I'm doing. So this is more like a reminder, like, okay, this is challenging, but we have to, like, let us go in that direction the best as we're able. Because I also have, the brothers will tell you, I have strong views, like, I think we should do it this way. But I'm learning about harmony, so let us all keep learning together and enjoy the beautiful things as well, the gifts as time relaxes. And one of them is coming up. We have 3 sounds of the bell to breathe.